Using an electric guitar amplifier and a microphone is not the only way to record electric guitar. This device here is the Pod X3 Live, and this device models guitar amplifiers, guitar speaker cabinets, stomp boxes, and other effects all inside this hardware unit. Now, what I use this for when I'm recording is much more basic. I use it to emulate guitar amplifiers and speaker cabinets, and the microphones that would be miking those speaker cabinets. Inside here, you can select from a number of different amplifiers and how those are hooked up to some virtual speaker cabinets. So you could have a Vox AC30 amplifier hooked up to an 8x10 Ampeg bass speaker cabinet, and then use that with a Shure SM57 microphone, and then even vary the position of the microphone all inside of here. I use this to get a lot of different tones very, very quickly. In this way, I don't have to have a whole bunch of amplifiers. And the sounds that this produce can be very, very accurate and very, very good if you know how to tweak them. Now, a lot of the sounds do take a good amount of tweaking to get them to sound nice and natural. The good thing about this is that when you're recording, you don't have to have your studio monitors off like you might if you were using a microphone in the same room, because if you had a microphone live in the same room and your studio monitors on, it could present a big problem with feedback and destroy your speakers and or your hearing. This way, you can hear exactly what you're playing and exactly what's being recorded. Whereas if you use a guitar amplifier and a microphone, you may be hearing one thing, but the microphone shoved right up into the speaker may actually sound a good bit different. So this type of setup, using this Pod X3 Live, gives me a lot more repeatable type results. Now, this is not the newest model, but there's nothing wrong with it. It sounded fantastic when it came out, and it still sounds fantastic today. Now, you can also record bass guitar in the same way using a device just like this, because along with all those amplifier models and speaker models, it also has a lot of bass amplifier and bass speaker models that you can make all kinds of combinations with and record your bass guitar just like this. And in that way, it gives your bass a lot more tonal possibilities for recording. Now, one other way that you can record both your electric guitar and your electric bass, which we'll go into more later, is plugging your instrument directly into your audio interface and then doing the amplifier and cabinet simulation later, digitally, like all digitally in the computer. Line 6 has a plugin called Amp Farm, which is basically all the features of this pedal, but in software, and they probably sound a little bit better. It also is a little bit easier to see because, well, you have pictures of stuff, and that's kind of easier to see than just some lines of text. But there's also some other great plugins, Amplitude by Native Instruments, and there's some free ones like FreeAmp 3, Dig. If you do some searching around, you can find some great guitar amplification simulation stuff out there, and that'll give you tons of possibilities. Plugging your guitar or your bass directly in to your audio interface and recording the dry signal gives you a ton of options down the road. So you can add any amp that you could possibly think of, and you get just tons of variations and tons of options. It may not be the fastest way because you can definitely get lost in all the sounds and all the combinations, but it is a super cool way to do it, and it gives you tons of options.